Diddy have to hire extra security, almost the military, to stop people from wanting to scale the wall to get in his house because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know.
I've seen Diddy have to hire extra security, almost the military, to stop people from wanting to scale the wall to get in his house, because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know. Jason Lee just dragged Beyonce and Jay-Z for filth after they sent their lagoons to allegedly him in the silence. Jason claims that Jay and Beyonce have been making phone calls to get him to speak on their behalf amidst the ongoing drama about their alleged involvement with Diddy. However, after he refused, they started making phone calls to him. Jason has been on Jay and Beyonce's radar for a little while now, because earlier this year, he blatantly blackmailed Beyonce on camera, even to spill some major tea about her, but everybody thought he was just blowing since he never ended up telling us what he had. What's even more messy about the entire thing is that that wasn't the only time that Jason stepped up to J and B not too long ago. He also exposed them for allegedly being at Diddy's parties. Whatever they beef is, B and J might want to get on his good side, because Jason is out here talking and not even those warnings from Northeast Good is going to stop him now. Like I said, Jason has been on Beyonce and Jay-Z's neck for a while now. The first time he went up against them was when he slammed Beyonce for not inviting him to her Renaissance movie premiere in London. He was real pressed because she invited other Plus influencers to the premiere but completely overlooked him, despite him apparently spending over $40K on Renaissance tour tickets. I think optically, when you don't include other black leaders in the culture in the fold, I mean, that just take me out of it. The Breakfast Club, I mean, you should have honored and brought more black, and I spent thousands of over $40,000 in tickets and share the experience with friends, and I've done a lot, and I'm not even going to say to here, because if I did this internet, Beyonce's good internet would go crazy now. This is where things get hella messy, because apart from Jason slamming Bane, it also threw her on camera, and this is what really got a lot of people talking, cause it ain't every day you see somebody bold enough. Beyonce, he spilled some tea he had on Beyonce to the co-hosts to his show, and they were gagging down. To make matters even worse, he went on to blackmail Beyonce by telling her he would only keep what he knows to himself if she succeeds in convincing Kelly Rowland to have an interview with him. I'm going to tell them while Johnny puts a beat over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now. Ooh. And that's where I go back to, like, we're friends in the game, we support each other, we help each other out. Can you imagine how I'd put that on Hollywood? Oh, there was one more thing, beat this Johnny, so that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me, you know what I mean, like there should be a little love there now. Maybe she doesn't know, Beyonce doesn't know, yeah. I don't think being there not going knows I got the receipts, I still have the receipts. Yvette, no, I got the receipts, I got them now. If I get that message to Beyonce, I can get it to, I'm connected, I can get the message to Beyonce. She needs to know, and I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just why. Do you know that EV that we're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now? Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about then it's going to be a problem. That I'm putting out the receipts I just told you about. Then I'll put those out. The fires that will come of that, I ain't worried. I ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you, not right now. I'm not playing this industry game at the time. A lot of people were not here for this because Jason sounded hella entitled, and it genuinely sounded like the only reason he was coming for Beyonce was because she didn't give him an invite. However, after more details of Diddy's arrest came out and people found out the alleged connection of Jay and Beyonce with the entire thing, people started to revisit that Jason had made, and they started to speculate that maybe that's what he was talking about. These rumors got fueled when the popular YouTube tea blogger Storm Monroe made some real wild claims about Bey apparently preparing to leave Jay-Z once Jay-Z's involvement with Diddy gets fully exposed, and part of the reason why they already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed, and it's only so much of these stories that Jay's, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this, and she knows it. And he knows it too. On as far as who's going to be the breakout victim SL story, I don't know. Y'all might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know, but I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're going to see Beyonce divorce him, okay? And she may or may not do an interview, but you're gonna, on their publicist, gonna release something. She's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah, 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 blah. Now, before all this happens, we may get another tour. We may get another album out of both of them. I don't know, because at the end of the day, they bought their money first. They're going to do what's best for business first. On as far as Beyonce is concerned, do she love him? I mean, he's really all that she knows. She was ready to leave him years ago. But when you think about it, it really makes sense, because in the last year and a half alone, she went on a world tour, released her own movie, released the hair care line, released another album, and release a whiskey and is reported to be gearing up for another world. Sure, I don't know about y'all, but even during the peak of Beyonce's career, she was not pushing up this many projects in that short of amount of time. People believe the reason why she's pushing all these projects out this fast is because something big is about to happen that will make people side-A her. Fast forward to a few weeks ago when Diddy got arrested. It was alleged that Jay-Z and Beyonce were panicking and that Jay even met up with a defense and divorce lawyer. This tea was spilled by the popular Twitter page and lawyer when they tweeted a two for today. For Jay-Z, he met with a criminal defense attorney, a divorce attorney, hashtag Shan Diddy Cole's hashtag Jay-Z. The details of this meeting were not revealed, but it's safe to assume that it wasn't nothing good. He knows this mess is closing in on him, and that's why he's out here meeting with his lawyers to make sure he's prepared for what's to come. Now, initially, people thought that Jay was the one dealing with Diddy and that Beyonce was probably blindsided, but some recent revelations from Jack Jaguar, Right the Baby, and even Jason Lee have been making people side Beyonce as well. Not too long ago, an interview that the Baby had with Shannon Sharpe started going viral. In this interview, he spilled some tea about the time that he was invited to Diddy's house for a secret meeting and ended up seeing Jay and Beyonce. Their 2H say she I was at a party at Diddy crib in La. This was the beginning of 2020. He had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people he had put him out, but he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, like putting his arm around me, right? So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there, me and maybe about 15 others, Jay-Z and Beyonce being, two of the other 15 people in the room, so that just put into perspective of the type of company I was in right at the moment, and she came over and introduced herself to me like as if she had to. Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, you know what I'm saying, whoop, and that was just dope. That was dope as hell to me, man. That was dope. That as if this wasn't incriminating enough. Jaguar Wright also shook the internet up a few days ago when she jumped on a heated interview with Piers Morgan and accused Jay's and Beyonce of allegedly paying millions into the investigation of R. Kelly and Diddy so that he wouldn't catch on to them. She also said she currently has 3 victims in her possession who are willing to testify in court about what Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly did to them. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dreen Han spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail, get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. How many victims potentially do you think there could be? Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife has. Well, they're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things. What do you think happened with Kim keeping people against their will, putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane unconscious? There's a lot of things that people don't